Okay, let's see here. DMR Punk in the house. Trying to figure out how to do this right. I don't know, lighting maybe. Relight on. Okay. Anyways, what is this about here? Yeah, I believe I'm live, so it's all good. I'm just gonna go ahead and ignore anyone watching because my camera is really high up from my illustration board here. So if I'm gonna sit down and actually draw, I really can't be up here, way up here, looking at anyone in the room. So forgive me if I ignore you. I'm not trying to. It's just happenstance. Anyways, so I haven't been on in a while. I've been pretty busy, but I did want to start off where I last ended, and that was with this page here. Um, I'm not even sure what it looked like the last time. I think it was just basic pencils, but as you can see here, the page is finished. It's a 38 page um, comic, so it's basically two episodes, 19 page episodes put together in one shot. This begins and ends pretty much, and it's one story. So 38 pages. So as you can see here, it's a basic comic book page. This is a scene where she comes down off a mushroom, and if you read earlier in the story, these guys they already notice her coming. They go through brambles and all kinds of the forest in order to reach her so that they can basically save her from what's about to happen. Of course, she's unaware, so she's not too comfortable with them gripping her up, and it's basically let me go on the count of three, right? And as you can see, I following basic comic book principles as far as leading the eye, and there are a lot of directional devices here. As you can see, we go to here, and even this frog here's leg actually lends to this pointing direction, where we have her flipping and elbowing this frog. As you can see, the angles that I'm using here are intentional. Come down here, and even this frog's legs lend to that. Her foot going down this way leads the eye towards this action where go get her, and that also leads into the page flip. All right, so the page flip is basically done on every odd page, if you understand the way a comic book works. All right, when you open it, this is usually the splash page, right? When you open it up, you have, right, and splash page is usually on an odd page, which would be number 1, right? So when you open it up, you have page 2 and page 3. I call it even odds, right? This is the double page spread. So this is an odd page, so it goes into a page flip, and that page flips over to actually this page, right? You flip over and you see this page, which is, I've shown this before, no big deal. And this is where she explains to them that she's not alone. And she's not referring to this guy. She's referring to her robot, who you will, in previous pages you'll see. But it also lends to the fact that, not only is she not alone with somebody else, but there's also a mysterious presence right here. All right, so you see the frogs around her. And yeah, that's where we let off last time. Like I said, this book, all these pages are finished. They're being colored right now. So this video has nothing to do with this story. I just wanted to catch everybody up, whoever really cares, the progress of the story. So now that you know, I can put this away. And here's a couple of things I've been working on. Had a couple of clients requesting, maybe I should zoom in here. I don't know. A couple of clients requesting some artwork. And if you're familiar with Frank Frazetta, you'll immediately recognize these particular illustrations here are based on Frazetta. And I've seen a lot of videos concerning, drawing horses. They're not that difficult to draw if you've drawn them before, but they are very difficult if you haven't drawn horses before. Especially if you're drawing from reference. Drawing from reference is pretty simple. Um, Most of the time, I prefer to draw from imagination, but even when you draw from imagination, you're going to need some kind of reference, even if it's in your mental library or if it's something visual that you have to look at. So in this case, these are definitely Frazetta homages. Um, for a friend, she loved the homage. She's like, "Oh, I would like to, see myself in that." So I drew her. She rides every week a horse. So some, and of course, hey man, young Van Gogh. Who doesn't love Van Gogh? And there's a thing that people say about Van Gogh. Oh, he was depressed and blah, blah, blah. And I understand depression is a big thing. But I guarantee you, somebody who is as productive as Van Gogh was, I will guarantee you that while he was being productive, he was not depressed. I don't know what depressed him. People have their own reasons, but this man produced so much artwork. You just can't do it while you're depressed. Yeah, I've been depressed before. I felt it, and when I feel that way, I just don't feel like drawing. So you have to ask yourself, how depressed was Van Gogh, right? Apparently, obviously depressed enough, but when you produce artwork, you're not. You have to be enjoying it. At least in my case, man. That's usually when I'm more productive, is because I'm enjoying. So, rest in peace, Van Gogh. And rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is what I can't remember. Somebody sent something about a meme, and hey, what's up? Sorry about that. What's happening, Carter? Nice to see you here. And yeah, she caked up, right? Hey, that's how I like my women. Anyways, let's not go there. Hey, yeah, if you had a caked up woman, you probably, who knows, that might actually add to your depression. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not just, it could be either way. But anyways, yeah, thanks for joining the room. And I drew this Chuck Norris piece. It's from Way of the Dragon. And this is actually a commission. This is a sketch, which I'll probably keep or give away to somebody else. But this here is is a sketch basically for an oil painting that I'll be doing for a commission for a Chuck Norris fan who loves Way of the Dragon. So, like I said, I've been busy. This here is Mandan Indian. I do a lot of these for commissions. People love my illustrations of Native American. And I'm actually working on one now, or actually I haven't started yet, but I will be starting on a sketch for that. This is this is already sold, so you can't buy it. If you want to commission me to do work, I guess message me. I'm available for that. This is sold, so you can't buy it. And yeah, so that's where we're at right now. What I want to do is just warm up, do some not rough, try to be as clear as possible, and just come up off the hip, something that I can draw. If you guys have any suggestions, who's that? Marcia Hodges. Hey, how you doing, Marcia? How are you this this lovely evening. I hope you're doing well, and yeah, enjoy. I'm about to draw something. I'm not sure yet. Probably a female figure because I love drawing that. And what I like to do is, like I said, I like to draw from imagination. So no reference. I know it's difficult to do those kind of things, but if you've done it long enough, you've done it for a while, and you do it a lot, it becomes a lot simpler. So let's just start. I like to start with the axis line. Basically, it's basically a center line going down. Um, every Unless I were drawing it from the side or whatever, it doesn't matter. This is going to be a vertical, horizontal. Now, a lot of times people will draw from imagination. They or we just draw. So let's think here. Let's see if I draw a head here. Let's get an idea. If I draw a head here, and this is the axis line, then what I might want to do is actually let's put her head higher here. You can stick around and watch. Come back and look at it later. I don't plan on being here for that long, so this will get done relatively quickly, probably within the next half hour, hopefully 20 minutes. All right. And I'm just going to draw a regular female here. Okay. And if you guys want to, I don't know, chime in as far as who this could be, I don't know. Let's draw some hair here. We're just going to put in the basic, I don't know, basic, let's say basic shapes for a generic, I guess, female. A generic female. So this could be anybody who I'm drawing here. So I might ask you guys for help on who this person might be at some point. Let's just go ahead and let's have her sitting down, of course. Oh, these are all basic shapes, right? I'm not committed necessarily to any particular shape yet. Let's have her sitting. All right, so she has one hand, I guess, over her leg here. And how about we make her other leg, like she's sitting on her other leg here. All right, that's just a basic shape there. So she'll have her foot here. All right, and then her other leg will come down like this. We'll have her foot there. Now, as you can see here, it's a basic, I don't know, we call it gestural or linear shapes going on here, but you can see we have a well-proportioned, right, and that took relatively no time to do. And we can continue from there by figuring out, let's say, perspective, right? Let's say the perspective angles would be, have our angles like this, right? So we're looking kind of, I don't know, maybe this would be the horizon line right here, okay? So that we can go from that horizon line and we're looking more down towards the rest of her body. So let's say she's sitting on a pillow or, I don't know, something. So let's have her, since this is a horizon, we can go ahead and assume that our vanishing points are on either side of this horizon, one over that way and one over this way. So we can gather that and build a floor, or at least where she's sitting. So we can go, right? And we can go see, like, right, okay? So there's where she's sitting. There's the platform she's sitting on. All right, and this is kind of intuitive. The reason why I'm showing you the horizontal or the eye, where what we would consider where our eye line is so that you can know that's what I'm basing this ground or pillow that she's sitting on, right? So it's not just it's drawing from imagination. I'm not just imagining, um, you know, I'm actually drawing from what I know. So drawing from imagination, a lot of it is not, it's the references in my head. Okay, so it's not like I'm just pulling this out of the air and making stuff up. I am making stuff up, but at the same time, it's based on an understanding of form and shape and all that stuff. All right, so let's see. If her hand is on her lap, I mean, it could be, you draw a hand, you draw fingers, right? Okay, and this is basically just an impression. And the reason why I like to draw an impression is because if you get too like detailed at first, let's draw a face here real quick. Then what you want to do is you want to shape in everything, and then hone in on the details after you happy with. Because I could have drawn her face, all perfect, and then I would have had trouble with the body. Who knows? Maybe not, but. So let's draw her face. Let's draw a pretty face. And get her eyes in here. Now, I'm not going to draw like that cutesy anime style, manga style face here. I'm going to try to draw a little bit more, I don't know, not that. Although I could easily give her, the big old eyes and stuff like that, and a little tiny nose and a mouth, right? But I'm not going to do that because that's, to me, is not what I want to do. Not what I want to do. So I'll draw her nose here. I like to draw just a little circle, right? A little box for the nose because it's like a diamond shape. And of course, I love fuller lips. All right, see what I'm saying? So you get that simple. It's not difficult. I mean, it is difficult to learn how to do it and to keep it. But once you learn how to do it, it's still not easy, but it's less difficult, I guess. So then you draw our shoulder here. Now, I don't want to get too heavy with my pencil here, because then I gotta erase more when I have to erase. So let's just a little easier on that line, and take it from there. All right, got a little elbow here. And I don't know, who do you guys think this should be? I think this should be, if you've got any suggestions, I don't know, superhero, I'm thinking Scarlet Witch, to be honest with you. If you guys are familiar with Scarlet Witch from Marvel Comics, I think she would look cute as Scarlet Witch. Get her eyes here. Alright. How far are we in by now? We at 19? Already 20 minutes? Wow. I wasted a lot of time. Anyways. That's fine. 20 minutes is cool. Alright, so if I'm drawing Scarlet Witch, Scarlet Witch has, let's draw her hip there. Scarlet Witch has boots. Alright, she got little boots. Alright, and I like to draw the female foot kind of already, and most females already have this, like naturally their foot kind of like just lays naturally this way for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's genetics, I have no idea, but it's definitely pretty. And and it just naturally lends to high heels. Maybe that's why they're I guess comfortable wearing those things. They must be comfortable wearing them because they wear them a lot. So go ahead and give her some. Now this foot right here would be more seen at a top angle since we have our angles pointing down this way. Alright, so that foot might actually be less, maybe even up here, right? And like this. Okay, so we can see that top angle of that foot. And yes, the eraser is a lovely companion for anyone trying or drawing. So now that I got all these simple shapes down, then I can go ahead and hone in on. Alright, let's see here. I know Wanda, what's her last name? Magnus? Some. His leg goes right there. Wanda Magnus, I think is her name. Magneto's daughter. Has boots, but I'm not sure exactly if they're knee highs. Maybe they're knee highs. I think they're knee highs, right? Or just below the knee type of boots. So let's figure out where those will go. She's got arm. Let's see if it's going down this way. Then arm. She has arm gloves that go all the way up to her arm, I think. So she'll have like that. And I know she wears a kind of a corset type. So we'll go ahead and build that corset like this. And boom, like that, right? And she has a really cute, how does that mask, or that's not a mask, it's like a headdress of some kind. I'm gonna have to go and search this real quick on the Google. Wanda, Scarlet Witch's costume, let me see. Might take a second. Alright, so basically her headdress is kind of like, it's like this. And it goes like this. Something like that, right? That's exactly like that. So, let's go ahead and put that on her. Now, since her head is a different angle, this flat view has to conform to that. So basically what we got to do is we have to follow this angle here. Okay. And get this perspective on that correct. We can go ahead and practice it here. Alright, so that would mean the points, even though they're parallel here, one would go higher on his face and one would go lower. So let's go ahead and map it out first, right? Map it out first. We get the perspective correct right here. Now, I don't usually do this. I'm doing it now just to show you my train of thought. Now, I'm not, just a disclaimer, I'm not a teacher. I don't do tutorials. I don't do none of that. I'm not trying to show you how to do stuff. I'm just showing you how I do things, right? I'm self-taught, so I do not have the credentials, and I'm not qualified to teach anyone anything. If anything, what I could do is show you how I do what I do to the best of my ability. Right. Without claiming to be something I'm not. I'm not a teacher. Go ahead and watch there are several YouTube channels of people that I think are very good at teaching, and I am not one of them. But I will definitely point you to who I think is qualified to teach. I think Tim McBurney is really good at Art Codex. The man knows what he's talking about. He's been in the business industry for a long time. I like Artwad too. I like Artwad because you didn't, right? You know that guy, Antonio. That guy you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Father Guido Sarducci from Handsome Boy Modeling School. You know, it's the best $24 I ever spent. You won't be sorry for long. Father Guido Sarducci is the. I'm not making fun of Antonio either. I'm actually. I love that guy. So, and he is a handsome motherfucker. So, oops, excuse my language. He is a handsome man. So, you know, he kind of reminds me of Handsome Boy Modeling School, Guido Sarducci. And if you don't know who Father Guido Sarducci is, then you're probably too young to be watching my channel right now. Anyways, and I don't mind, you know, younger people watching my channel. Maybe you might learn something, even though I'm not a teacher. But and it's very hard for me to articulate, or you know, my vocabulary is very limited as far as being able to inform or teach anybody to do anything. So go ahead and follow Tim McBurney. Go look at Artwad. All right, if you want to learn something. I should go more like that. If you want to know what kind of pencil I'm using, it's just a basic Ticonderoga. All right, it's a Dixon Black. Nothing special. Nothing expensive. Nothing terribly hard to come by. And this is all traditional here, so if you're working digitally, you know the difference between traditional and digital. And the difference is minimal, really. Like I could be doing this, well actually I couldn't be doing this on digital because I do not have a whack-on pad. So I would be forced to use a mouse, which is not, you know, if you know, you know. It's not the best thing to try to do something like this with. It's very hard to control. There's no, there's basically no control if you have a mouse. I mean, I've done stuff with a mouse, but it just takes too much time because you can't get the same control as if you have a stylus in your hand. So, yeah, I don't do a lot of digital work because I don't have a whack-on pad. If I did have a whack-on pad, then I would do more digital stuff, but I don't, so I won't. Shout outs to Photoshop or Wacom. If you want to throw me one of those, right, I will definitely use it, take it, and promote you guys, promote your product, and I could probably do the same thing, if not better, with it than I'm doing right now. Now, the old school Wanda, right, she had little curly cues right here, right, because she had curly hair. And I don't know if I'm going to give her the curly hair. I think they're cute. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm just going to draw them in for now just to see how much I like that. And I don't know, maybe I won't give her the curly hair, I don't know. All right. It's a little smaller, right? We'll see. So you can see that it's coming along pretty quickly. All right. Maybe I'll give her a little bit more. All right. A little more. Okay. And that's just, you know, trying to find some pleasant lines. I don't want to say you don't want to, because I'm not a teacher, right? I'm going to say I don't want to. I don't want to do this, right? And this is not saying that you're doing it wrong if you do this. I'm just saying I don't want to draw like this. right? I don't want to, what I want to do is I want to, right, one line, okay? And the reason why is because it's easier to clean up. And it's more confident, I guess you could say, because I understand where the line is going to go already before I lay it down. And it doesn't happen all the time. So basically, I'm admitting to you that I've drawn this pose before. Right? So this makes it easier for me to draw this pose. Makes it easier for you to draw anything if you've already drawn it before. And that's what I meant to say about horses. A lot of people are like, oh, drawing horses and stuff like that. Well, if you've drawn them before, it makes it a lot easier for you to draw again. Okay, so, and of course, like I said, these are based on Frazetta's paintings. So I had reference. It wasn't difficult to, it's not difficult to draw from reference as opposed to drawing from imagination. And then, like I said before, if you're drawing from imagination, you probably have drawn it before, so it kind of sticks in your visual library. So, yeah, draw from reference, draw from imagination, whatever you enjoy. All right, go ahead and do that because a lot of times you'll hear people saying, "Oh, draw this way, draw that way." Man, forget about it. Don't listen to people. Do what you want to do, and enjoy. That's the most important thing. And you could tell based on somebody's work whether they enjoy doing something or not. You know. So what should I do now? I think I should go ahead and start to ink this because I do, or I may want to color it as well. So I know she has a cape too, but I'm not sure if I want to give her that cape. Her cape is kind of like a... She has an interesting cape. It's kind of like... Yeah, see, this is what I didn't consider, was putting her cape on at this angle. So this is where the imagination can be a problem, right? Because now I have no reference. Now I have to figure out how would this cape fit on her in this particular angle without, you know, disturbing any of the lines I've already drawn. And if it's going to lay flat or if it's going to go flying around, right? Like it could, right? You notice I changed the way I hold my pencil when I'm trying to do something more, I guess, organic. I like to, because then it moves more organically than if I were to properly, and this I will say is the proper way to hold a pencil, right? If you're holding it like this, I don't know how you do it. I have no clue as to how you're doing it, but you're doing it, and if it's comfortable for you, that's all that matters. I don't know how people draw like this. I'm amazed. But this is to me, so I can turn the pencil around in 3 hands, right? 3 fingers. And that way I can, I don't know, have more control over the, because I'm a control freak. No, I'm not a control freak. I'm not. But when it comes to holding a pencil, I do like to have more control over it than somebody who, I don't know how you can control that, but I can't. So I'm going to go like this. All right, got a little cute face there. As much as I think anime faces are cute as well, I think more realistic human faces can be just as cute, if not cuter at times. So I prefer to, yeah, and there is something about cuteness that has an appeal, right? So I think it's important if you're drawing, especially comic books, to have some kind of an appeal when you draw because it's a visual medium. And I don't like her cape, although I do like her cape coming out like that. I don't, because then it destroys the overall composition of what I'm trying to do here. The composition that I'm trying to, because this is a potential commission or potential for sale, so I'm not gonna, what I want is for this to fit within, okay, let's see here, within this border here, because I will crop this once it's done. So I kind of want, if I do give her a cape, which I most likely will, I don't want it to go too far outside of these border lines. So maybe her cape goes, I don't know, maybe it goes out this way. Maybe it hangs, right? Because since she's a witch, she can be floating on top of this pillow here that she's on in the air. She's not touching the ground. So maybe her cape can kind of come down behind it. Right? Something like that, maybe. You can see that, I'm not sure. But that might be it. And this foot here looks like it's on the floor, so maybe, but then again, you know, it's a natural bend to the foot. Maybe I can have it a little bit more, less, right? Planted, I guess, less planted and more, more thusly. Okay. All right, so as not to waste any more time, I'm going to go ahead and... What did you say? What did you say, Cole? Oh, are you laughing at me, Cole? That's fine. As long as we're engaged. As long as we're engaged, that's okay. Looks like you're from China. Ni hao ma. Ni hao. Wherever you're from. Good day, good morning, hello. You can see the hand here. We got to take in consideration the knuckles of the hand. All right. Fingers. Pinky's always smaller. Maybe we can put one of her hand. Maybe this arm here comes out. Maybe. Or maybe I don't need her other hand here. We'll just go ahead and see what we can do. All right, because she does have powers, maybe I want her to have a little, I don't know, sparkly, little magic trick she's doing here. All right. Okay. Like I said, no reference, full imagination. That's how I like to go. It's not very difficult once you learn how to do it. Right? Okay. So yeah. And yeah, by the way, I'm not only am I not a teacher, I don't make tutorials, but I'm not a YouTuber either. So as you can see, I don't have many followers, I don't have many subscribers. I don't care. You can like or dislike my videos. It's not really a big deal to me. I do professional work, um, outside of YouTube, so I'm not necessarily mm, not necessarily. I don't need YouTube. I just enjoy live streaming sometimes. So you can like, dislike my videos, regardless. You can subscribe or not. It's fine with me. My income is based on professional, like actual people. So I'm not really beholden to YouTube or in necessarily need YouTube. Hey, I don't mind it though. I don't mind YouTube. Uh, I'm not I'm not monetized, so it doesn't really matter if I get views or not. This basically the I use YouTube for proof of stuff I'm working on, and I don't know. I tried a while ago to like engage on YouTube and like do stuff to see if people would I guess enjoy or hold me accountable, but no one really cares, so neither do I. Neither do I. Right? I just do my stuff regardless. Not necessarily something I am beholden to or accountable for. But it would be nice. It would be nice. That way, things would get. I think things would get done a lot quicker if I had people, you know. Because I'm not. Basically, you're accountable for what you get paid for, right? And I'm not getting paid by YouTube. You guys ain't paying me, so I'm not accountable to you. But it would be nice to have some engagement. That would definitely keep me more, I guess, feeling as if I was accountable for something I'm not getting paid for. But, you know, people, they like what they like, and if it's not this, then that's okay. I'm getting paid, so it doesn't matter to me. And I guess, and that's the difference between someone who's expected to make YouTube videos and someone who isn't. I'm not expected to do it, so that's why I don't. But if I could build an audience who, would prefer me to make more videos, then I will. But until then, it's not happening. Not gonna happen. I'm not sure if I like those little curlies right there. Maybe I'll omit those. I want those lines confident. No sketchy lines. Sketchy lines are not confident, in my opinion. But, if you're confident about sketchy lines, then go ahead. I don't feel confident that my lines are sketchy. I'll probably color this too. Maybe I'll spend another hour here and just color this. All right. Oh, he goes there. Let's separate that pinky. Okay. Gotta be real careful about this because it's gotta be perfect, right? Gotta hold my breath with that one. Alright, so you see what I'm doing there. Your eyeball here. Our iris. And her pupil. I like to draw an indication of her pupil so it leaves room for a highlight there. And I want to shade the top of that iris a little bit. Okay. Alright, I like it so far. Let's get rid of boot there and this boot here. Alright, just to keep in mind, you know, the perspective or the angle that you're looking at her at. And like I said, the perspective is kind of intuitive. It's a little subliminal because I'm not drawing any perspective lines, but it's there. It's all in the head. It's all in my mind. Alright, I'll erase this. Let's erase those curly cues up there too. Make sure that that pen is not, the ink is not still wet, so let's leave that for last. Oops, forgot that line. All right. Let's draw that back in. Because I am not as confident as I look, I'm going to go ahead and use a pencil to do that. But as you can see, minimal strokes. And a minimal stroke is confident, but I am not confident enough to go in with pen. So let me say this right now about people who just immediately go in with pen. It's a wonderful exercise. I love doing it myself, but I'll be honest with you, I've sold very few illustrations that I've just went in immediately with a pen, and the reason why is because they're not as good, because I am not as good with a pen as I am unless I pencil it out first and then ink it. I can use a pencil just like I can use a pen and draw confident one-line things, but I do not want, because I'm not as confident as you are, I am not trying to do something that I'm trying to sell immediately with just a pen. I mean, this simple piece I've done so far should be evidence enough that I have stacks and stacks and hundreds of freehand ink drawn illustrations. I can do it as well, but not for this. I want to sell this, so I want to make sure, right? I'm just not as competent as you are, so I want to make sure this comes out better than my straight up ink drawings. And that's the reason why, like I said, lack of confidence is the reason why I don't indulge in drawing straight up with ink as I have. I do it, I just don't do it a lot. It's all about the intentions, I guess, right? Okay. Simple line. Be honest with you, I did not plan this out. So this is all, I'm winging it. It's all improvisation. Let's see, we'll give her some tassels or something on that pillow. And I'll just go in with ink because why not, right? We'll put some tassels here. And tassels are going to have a rounded, but let's not draw those. Let's just keep that in mind here. Right, and rounded. Okay. This one as well. Screw it, we'll put that round right there. Right. Of course, those are also stringy. And of course, pillows have a seam, so I'll have a seam here. And I have a seam here. Right, and then they have billows in the pillow. Right, the pillow is being pulled by this, so it's going to have. Let's make sure we get that right. Right. How would that be? See, this is why I love pencil, because pencils can give me the idea, and if I get it wrong, I can just erase and fix it, rather than using whiteout or something, some kind of correctional medium, and there's nothing wrong with that either. However, since I am thinking about coloring this real quick, I do not want the correctional fluid to because I don't know if you've ever used what I plan on using is plan on using alcohol markers here. So if you're going to use alcohol markers to color something, whiteout is, you don't, because this will not go over whiteout the same it goes over the pencil. So using a correctional fluid for any ink mistakes is not something that I want to do. So we'll keep it. If I use whiteout, I'll use it later for highlights or whatever, but not before. So that's what that is. That's what that's about. Right? So what was I talking? Oh yeah, the pencil. Let's figure out how these will be here. Let's see. She's sitting. Where would the tension be where she's sitting? It obviously would be on her butt, because her butt. Pulling there. And I feel like maybe, right? Something like that. Okay. Let's see, maybe her hand is, I don't know, it's got to be some kind of, I know her powers, like hex powers. So how do I manage to pull that off? I don't know. Let's think about it. All right. Something, I don't know, something like that. What do hex powers mean? I have no idea. I think it's probability, so it's like, feels like her powers are whatever she needs for whatever situation she's whatever situation she's in, like her hex powers kind of work. Like it's random, I guess, or appropriate for whatever it is she might need to do. I don't even think she knows what her powers are going to do next, right? It's just like some weird probability matrix that just it's like her powers know what she needs before she knows. At least that's what I gather. Let's see here. I'm not doing this, I'm going to be erasing this. I just want to do this, get some, shading in her hair, just to see where I might want to put it when I do finish, put the colors onto it. So, I'll give some highlights here and there. I think I want to highlight right here. There. That could be dark right there. Alrighty. And just to give her a little bit more. Give her eyelid there. No, I'm gonna. Sorry if I'm mumbling to myself. That's just what I do when I draw. All right. I don't even know if I'm still online, but that's okay. I got 3 likes and 0 viewers. And that's fine. I don't need viewers to finish this. I just need to finish it. I'll be doing this anyways if I were not streaming, so. Also, let's do like a version of her from, let's see, the old school version of Wanda Maximoff. I think that's her name, Maximoff, where she had kind of a, I like the way John Byrne used to do it. She had like almost shiny, but not necessarily shiny. Right? And it's like something like that. And then he used like a mezzo tint. If you don't know what a mezzo tint is, it's a halftone gradient, which back in the day they used to call zipatone or electrotones. So it was kind of, he would draw a shiny or something that appeared to make it look shiny, I guess. And then inside of that, he would have a mezzo tint, which is kind of it's kind of like a stippling, a random stippling effect. And you know what? I'm gonna do that with. How about we do that with her whole, like anything that she's wearing, like her, even her glove, right? Just to make it. Alright. It's kind of inside. Right, now that mezzo tint is, like I said, it's I don't know why I'm doing this in pencil. I should be coloring it like this, but just so you guys know what I'm talking about, or just to get an effect, I'll erase it. And I'll probably stay on here until I'm done. So, no big deal. If I have viewers or not. Let's just go find the shadows, areas that I want to shade before I commit to them, because like I said before, I am not as confident as you are. So let's find those areas here. And I know there's going to be shade here because her leg goes over. And here. And there'll be some here. I use my finger to smudge because I like to get dirty. I want my DNA, right, and everything I do. Don't get no funny ideas, though. Right? I know how people can be out here. Clowns. We got clowns out here, which is fine. I like to clown around too, but only if I know you. If I don't know you, I don't mind. I really don't care, regardless, but I'm just the type of guy who won't clown with you unless I know you. Because sometimes people might take offense to that, and I'm not the type of guy to get hurt. So it doesn't bother me. It's just I just don't want to bother people when I act like that. So I don't act like that to people I don't know. And so I don't think it's appropriate for me to do it. I don't care if you do it. You could do it all you want. I'm not bothered. But let's see. I want to give her. I do want to wait. Maybe I'll tell you what. Maybe what I'll do, instead of going immediately to color, and this is, I'll work this out in pencil. Right? And then maybe I'll come back later and work it out in color, right? Yeah, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'll do. All right, so that so far, I like it. Hope you guys like it. Um, if not, like I said, feel free to dislike uh, or like whatever. You know, I'm cool either way. And if you're interested in getting a commission, if you are into superheroes, go ahead and message me. Put it up right there on the screen so I can see it, and we can get that. We can make that happen. Um, you can see how I work. It doesn't take me long to start or finish an illustration. So if you're the type of person who likes to commission artists to draw, I guess, fan art or whatever, or maybe your own IP, personal intellectual property, hit me up. I don't take forever to draw. And this video right here shows. Been here for about an hour, so I got this much done. Probably takes me a day to do something like full color. So yeah, and I'm not the type of guy. I'm not the type of guy like if you commission, and it'll take me a week to finish it. Right, I'll be done. Not in one day, a couple days. So just so that you can, if that sounds good to you, and you can, count on it, then yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna go ahead and color this yet. I'll come back and color it later, just to I don't know, do something. Stream. Like I said, I've been busy, man. I can't. It's hard to find time to stream for me anymore. I get commissions, and I'm working on several projects. Actually, you know what? Here's another thing. There's a top cow. There's a contest, top cow, for Witchblade or what do you call it? The Darkness. Not Tommy Brown. Mark Silvestri. And thinking about entering it, right? It's kind of late in the game. It's been going on for a while, so I got 3 months, which to me is a lot of time. 8 pages, I believe they want. 8 pages, 8-page. So yeah, if you are in that contest at this time, then just a heads up, I'm about to enter it myself. It's pretty far into it. I got 3 months left, which is plenty of time if you ask me. So I'll probably start. So you guys got a head start if you've already started working on that contest. You guys have a really good head start. So to be honest with you, if you start now, you got a good head start, because 3 months is a lot of time to finish 8 pages. Right? A month is a lot of time to finish 8 pages. So yeah, just as a heads up, I will be joining that contest, so better bring the heat, because I know I am. All right, I'm out. Talk to you guys later, hopefully soon. Later tonight. All right, peace.